So we're using Life Orb Cobalion. The reason we're doing it is because Cobalion got buffed. Sacred Sword is a thing. It gives you an attack boost immediately. That allows us to immediately follow up with an Iron Head, even though that definitely won't connect. More likely than not, we'll just be going for Sacred Sword into like close combat or bounce. And while I used a Focus Sash on Terrakion, and a lot of people were telling me, why didn't you use Head Smash on Terrakion? It's because I wanted to use Sacred Sword, and I wanted to use the Focus Sash, and I didn't think I wanted to use Head Smash on a Focus Sash. I could have, though, to be honest. That was on me. We have to run the Life Orb on Cobalion, frankly, and the reason for that is because Cobalion doesn't have an attack stat. It has a 90 attack stat. That is really bad. That's super duper bad, just so you know. But it at least gets decent coverage in bounce. You know, we'll be able to do something. I could put Stone Edge on there as a way to deal with opposing what's it called? As a way to deal with opposing Armarouge, and that might not be the worst option. And maybe I should do that, but bounce is good into, well, not many Pokemon actually. You know, let's just put Stone Edge. Now that I think about it, maybe I do want to put Stone Edge on you. Hold on. You learned Stone Edge, right? You do. Okay. Maybe no bounce. Yeah, it's good Charizard coverage too. Does it learn Iron Tail? I don't believe it learns Iron Tail. I don't even think it gets a tail, dude. And like I said, I have no Seeds of Mastery, but apparently this will do it. Okay, apparently that won't do it. Do I have one? Okay. Give me a second. Now that we're done talking about utter bespoke nonsense and we got our Cobalion trained up, we can start laddering. Okay. I say laddering, the loose definition of laddering, because as we're all aware, there's no such thing as laddering in this game. So, yeah. Also, I thought I recorded 30 minutes worth of freaking Keldeo. Apparently I recorded like 24. So that's on me. My bad. This channel is partnered with Gamersupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamersupps through my link in the description down below, or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamersupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. I did not record 30 minutes of Keldeo. It was 20 something, so. We'll be live streaming until, like, you know, give it another, how long has this video been so far? 2 minutes, 27, 30 minutes from now, 28 minutes, like 8:15. We'll be streaming until like 8:15 because I have a friend coming over afterwards and we're gonna watch WWE. Because yes, I do watch WWE. I'm a child. All right. Possibly the most terrifying set of Pokemon to go up against here. I'm gonna Sacred Sword because I think they're gonna switch. They're not gonna switch. Can I Iron Head you? Aaron earned an Iron Urn. Thank you. Aaron earned an Iron Urn. Okay, he dropped. Also, you're not as AFK as I thought you were. And I don't have Solar Beam on this dude, so... Oopsie. That might be bad, not having Solar Beam. Go for the Earthquake, plus Earthquake. Okay, that's on me. Oh, hello, Virizion. Let's get out of there. Heat Wave. Okay, that didn't work. Calm Mind up. I'm Sash, I can take a hit. Got a ball. Oh, he's trying to line up the Collat. No! Okay. I think I'm gonna drop Protect for Solar Beam in a minute here. The Solar Beam's so good, dude. Alright, hold on. Managed to get away with that. Let's switch. Heat Wave. I'm Focus Sash. I can take this. I'm really wishing I had Solar Beam right now. Gonna go for the Sacred Sword. Miss, but I get the attack boost, which means we can follow up with an Iron Head into a Sacred Sword, and then miss the KO because someone else took it. I'm gonna Combine up. All right, I'm totally getting owned here. I really miss. Hold on, Shadow Ball. Okay, thank you. I was gonna say, I really miss having Solar Beam. I wish I had Armor Rouge, but I decided to spice things up for chat. They get mad when they don't see their variety slop. Oh, this is times for resisted. Let's do a hyperspace battle zone, bro. Wait, for what? What was the point of the hyperspace battle? We'll never see it coming. Stone Edge, go. All right, and then plus close combat. Does this get you a +1? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cobalion Gaming. That's my new YouTube channel, Cobalion Gaming. You should check it out at www.youtube.com/Cobalion Gaming. All right, we win. Nice. You know, one of my favorite competitive teams I've ever made had a Cobalion on it. It was back in Dynamax era, which is how you know it was garbage, because that format sucked. I ran a weakness policy Dragapult next to Indeedee, Thievul, and Life Orb Cobalion. And the Thievul was Psychic Seed. And there's still videos of this somewhere, I think. But effectively what I would do, let me get Solar Beam on this guy. What I would do, and I qualified for Players Cup with this, I would lead off Indeedee and Thievul, and then I would switch in either Dragapult or Cobalion, depending on what was appropriate for like the matchup. And then I would click side beat up, and beat up would do nothing. It would do nothing to either of these Pokemon, but it would activate a +4 attack boost on Cobalion, or it would just activate weakness policy on Dragapult, and then I would Dynamax and sweep with both of them with Max Airstream. It was just whichever one was necessary for the occasion. So yeah, that was a set that I ran back in ye old. All right, we gotta plus that. Finally in the server. Yay, Bren. All right, we got Solar Beam now. It was kind of funny. For those of you who weren't around for like the 2014, 2015 era of Pokemon YouTube, it almost seemed like you had to have a mascot. And like nowadays, you don't really need a mascot, you know, but there are some people with like the most desperate of mascots ever. I saw a guy whose mascot was freaking, or not even just a mascot, but like you would have to like have a mascot, and some people would even like name themselves after their mascot. So like you would integrate the Pokemon's name into your YouTube channel. And I even did that before it was Moxie boosted. It was the Head Honchkrow. But we also had people like Haluchamp. That was like one guy, and we had like I guess Game Boy Luke isn't really like named after a Pokemon, but even though it's like Rotom, I think Rotom's appropriate for him, you know. But I always thought it was really funny just how mandatory that seemed at the time. Can I Shadow Ball you? Probably not, right? Oh, yes, I can. Thank you, Focus Sash. All right, Porygon Z. Surely you don't have a matchup into me, right? Close combat. You don't have a matchup, but Garchomp don't really need a matchup, do he? Ice Punch. Ooh, I am... Okay, no, I'm not getting Freeze Dried. To be honest, I think we are living in the best era of Pokemon YouTube. And the reason I say that is because, and I am tooting my own horn with this one, but like the videos that come out these days are actually good and interesting. It's not just like 18,000 Nuzlocks, you know? Because I feel like everyone just did a Nuzlocke at some point. It was like, oh, what do I do? Well, I'm a Pokemon YouTuber. I have to do a Nuzlocke. Me, I tried a Nuzlocke. It wasn't for me. It wasn't that it was too hard. I was just bored out of my mind. But like, there was a point where it was just Nuzlocks, and like, it was either you were the ranked competitive guy, and you would do like, you know, battles against your friends, or you would be the Nuzlocke guy, and you would do Nuzlocks. And then when the Nuzlocks got old, they would do really funny things where it's like, okay, well, this is actually, it's not a regular Nuzlocke, it's a whole new type of Nuzlocke. This is the world's first Pokemon ROM hack 8-player simultaneous Nuzlocke. And I'm like, I don't know who wanted to see this, frankly. Like, you're fans, clearly, because you want to watch it, you know, for the YouTuber you're watching. But I always thought that was funny. I was like, okay, well, at some point we have to, like, drop the Nuzlocke thing, right? Like, we got to do something else. You know, there's other videos that can be made. So I think that's, like, the point where, like, Pokemon YouTube really kind of stepped it up. And now it's just, like, everyone just makes video essays, which is also kind of funny because sometimes the video essays, like mine, kind of suck. But I will say, like, the base quality of a Pokemon YouTube channel in 2025 is leagues higher than, like, the base quality of a Pokemon YouTube channel in 2015. And it's not close. Like, even the lazier channels today are, like, just really good in comparison to that era. And that era wasn't bad, it's just different, you know, like people want different things now. And I think now we got like a million different Nuzlocke channels, so now we can do something else. Yeah, now we're in the tier slop era. The tier slop era is fine, you know. Shiny hunting still going strong. That's the thing with shiny hunting. I feel like shiny hunting content isn't really about the shiny. It feels more like just a just chatting stream, you know. Barely inching away from that meter beam with your life. Yeah. I think one of my favorite, like, observations I've ever made about old Pokemon YouTube is that there were people who would do, like, that era's equivalent of tier slop, but that era's equivalent of tier slop was the lost art of the top 10. You do a top 10 video where it's like, here are the top 10 dark types, you know, and like everyone's thumbnails looked the same for some reason. I feel like we all, like, not we, because I wasn't like active in that era, but I feel like they all had like the exact same thumbnail artist, which some people will say like, but Mr. Boosted, your thumbnails look like everyone else's. Like, wrong. My thumbnails look like Point Crows and Point Crows alone, and Point Crow don't make them. Point Crow don't make Pokemon videos like as often as like dedicated Pokemon channels, you know. And the reason they look like Point Crows is because Point Crow, you know, has the same thumbnail artist as me. But to toot my own horn, I hired her first. I said, oh, Eugen, you make excellent thumbnails. Come make my thumbnails. And then you know what she did, and it was awesome. And now we make money on YouTube. Oh, he's totally gonna... Okay, no, we're fine. Earthquake. Oh! I didn't know that Volcanion learned Solar Beam. I learned something today. Should I seek employment? Yes. Yes. That's just like a general rule of thumb. If you're not employed, you should probably be employed. And it's not necessarily like a Moxie boosted thinks everyone should be working forever. It's more like a, you're like 24, and I think your parents would appreciate it if you could be a little more independent. Like, even if like you're not able to be as independent as other people due to some outstanding circumstance, I think they'd appreciate at least like the effort, you know. Your parents do a lot for people, you know, and I think that like showing them the fruits of their labor by like, you know, going out and doing your best in society is typically like a good way to say thank you, you know. Because, like, at the end of the day, what do parents want more than, like, to see their kids succeed? So, you know, do your best for your parents, everyone. You get a nice, wholesome lesson on the Moxie boosted Pokemon live stream. Oh, that's stupid. I should have done Stone Edge. Okay, well, I'm 14 and even Taco Bell don't hire 14. Okay, well, if you're 14, then why are you asking if you should seek employment? You know, at that point, no, go do what 14-year-old... What do 14-year-olds do today? Go play, like, Friday Night Funkin' or something. I don't know. Go leave mean comments on Pokemon YouTuber channels. Don't cosplay being employed, you know? Like, that's... You know, you're stealing my culture. I say is like the most unemployed employed person of all time. You know, I turned on the face cam the other day for the first time in a while, and someone said you look very employable, and I'm like, I can't tell if that's like a jab at me being a full-time YouTuber or if they're just saying you look like a respectable young adult. I can't tell. I genuinely can't tell if that's like an insult now, because I feel like it felt like an insult. Like, I would love to employ you. I'm like, thank you, I guess. I don't know. Do some private battles. How many? Actually, I probably don't even have time today because I have a friend coming over at 8:30. I got like 15 more minutes in this video, but we'll be streaming again tomorrow a little bit earlier. We'll do longer stream, you know. I know what you're thinking, Mr. Boosted. A second Diet Coke? Wrong. A second Coke Mini. Because the Diet Coke Minis are really small, so I'm effectively having... Yeah, it's only got half the calories of a Diet Coke, so I'm technically losing weight. No. Oh, I literally can't hit you, dude. I feel like I'm about to get close combated. Oh, there it is. I want you all to know that, like, when tax season comes around, I don't want you to get, like, surprised by this. We will be having a Moxie Boosted needs to pay his taxes subathon. And, like, it will be played for laughs, but it is unironically, like, I have to pay my taxes. So probably in, like, February, we'll do the Moxie Boosted pays his taxes subathon. Because let me tell you something. I know I love Honchkrow, but unlike Al Capone, I would not dare challenge the Illinois IRS. You know, they got Al Capone. I don't know why I said unlike Al Capone, I would not, because I'm smart. Because Al Capone was stupid and he challenged the Illinois IRS. You don't fight the IRS. The Joker wouldn't even fight the IRS. Go look it up. My first year on YouTube, my biggest regret was not saving up for tax season. I got completely annihilated during tax season my first year as a YouTuber. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna open up with Sacred Sword because that means that I can follow it up with, that's right, close combat. Wait, that's not who I was aiming for. Hold on. Did I just close combat? I just close combated the Marshadow. The IRS is woke nonsense. I mean, from the perspective that they fund social programs, if you want to, like, you know, be against social programs and like free healthcare and stuff. Like, yeah, like, you know, it is pretty woke. You know, I think that's typically considered a good thing, you know. Free childcare, utter woke nonsense. All right. You're 14. I didn't even know what woke meant. To be fair, woke is sort of a co-opted word. Woke was originally used in the black community to refer to people who are aware of like their social standing and like the like situation that like minorities and like basically just like an understanding of like power structures and stuff, right? Knowing that like there are certain like powers trying to keep you down if you're like of a certain minority or class in the United States and the world broadly. And then it got co-opted to mean like anything progressive, like, and it wasn't even co-opted by like progressive. It was co-opted by like people who didn't like oh, this is woke, you know. That's so I mean like the original meaning it's been used for years, you know, decades, but you know, it's like not used the same way it's always been used. Now it's like frankly a meme, and that's kind of sad, you know. It used to be kind of like a cool, you know, thing to understand. I guess not really cool to understand. It's just like if you understood it, you understood it. And that usually like was you know, that would usually like correlate with like your, you know, understanding of just broad social structure. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. But you guys get what I mean, right? You guys don't come here for politics. You just end up with it. My bad. I saw people call this game woke. Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like, yeah, woke used to like have like a pretty like important meaning and referred to like, you know, social structures and like oppression and stuff, and like now it just means like Elden Ring. It means Elden Ring. Okay, let's see if I can actually, I'm gonna take advantage of my focus sash here. Get this free one off, and then we'll switch into my AV guy. Go for the earthquake. Got him. I appreciate being able to talk politics. I mean, like that's I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good. I was pretty politically active for a while. I'm still quite politically active, but like, I don't really like talk about it much on like my platforms because like you guys come here for Pokemon, and like if it comes up naturally in the conversation, I'm not gonna shy away from it, you know. But like it's not my job. You know, there's some people who are like, it's your job as a content creator to like educate people on these sort of things. Well, actually, no, it's my job as a content creator to use like skip loom and ranked battles. But like, if it comes up, yeah, I'll tell you. You know, I'll talk to you about politics. Like that, right there, right there. I just did like some utter woke nonsense and got 3 KOs. You know. Kind of wish I had bounce now. This has been the most unhinged stream so far. I'm so sorry that like we came back from like a month of like stream hiatus only for me to like do this on stream. The woke Swampert stream. Yeah. That's funny. I might end up unemployed. I'm sitting at a 3.4 freshman year of high school. I'm gonna be so for real. I think that there's like two perspectives on this sort of thing, right? And they're both wrong. There's like people who are like, high school is everything. You need to get like an incredible GPA. By the way, 3.4 GPA is actually pretty great for high school. I'm just saying. You need to be perfect in high school or you'll never get a job. You'll never get into college, you know? That's not true. You can do pretty awful in high school, and as long as you graduate, you'll be able to get into like community college, and like that's more than enough to secure yourself a job. No one cares where you went to college. They care like what you did and like if you had good grades in college, and sometimes not even that. And then there's like the other side of the spectrum that's like, school don't matter. Like, you know, Mango had like the worst take on this I've ever heard. Like Mango, the streamer for like Melee, like there's like a clip of him saying like, yeah, I just didn't show up to, I think you should play video games all day. You know, like I did whatever I wanted all the time, and like I turned out fine. First of all, you're not Mango. You're like a 14-year-old who likes esports. There's a big difference. You know, so Mango had an awful take, and I also think like believing that like having an incredible GPA in high school is like necessary to do good. Like I think that's a bad take. I might do YouTube for a living. However, I usually don't show this. I guess I could show this. Where's my award? Oh wait, this is my award. Okay. So this is a plaque I got for research I did in undergrad. I have a physics degree. I talk about it here and there. I went to college for physics, and I did research, and I had a publication that I like am credited in for the Journal of Applied Physics. It was for nanopatterning aluminum oxide materials using sequential infiltration synthesis inside pattern polymers. What that is, frankly, I don't even remember what we did with it. But it was small, and it was cool, and it helped me get a job. That being said, what I do now did not require any of that. I did get a job that I liked for a little bit out of college, and that was fun. I had like a 9 to 5, and like it was fun. I just didn't find it super fulfilling. And my YouTube channel that I did all throughout college was taking off. So I decided to do that instead because it made me happier. And now I don't always feel happy when I do YouTube videos. Sometimes I get like pretty sad and lonely because it is a very lonely field, frankly. And I'm very much an extrovert, and I wish I could hang out with more people. But regardless of that, I think that as long as you find a job that you're happy doing, you shouldn't stress yourself out too much on your way to that. You know, you should just kind of do your best in whatever you're doing to get to that position that you want to be in. And you might not know what you want to do initially. You know, I thought I wanted to be a physicist, tried it, wasn't for me. And then like in the long run, I found something that I like really enjoyed doing. But I was so stressed every day. Like I need to pass my quantum physics exam. I need to do this. Even in high school, I was like, oh my God, my GPA is so bad, I'll never get into college. But I mean, like you'll always find where you could work. And like low key, like even if you have like incredible grades, you might not even like the job that you end up with, you know? Sorry, that's like a really long tangent. That's a really long tangent. And I feel like I said nothing. I feel like I said nothing of like import that like you couldn't figure out by talking to like your uncle, you know, but I wanted to like at least address that. Because if there's someone in chat that's like, oh my God, my GPA sucks in high school, I'd be like, look, do your best in high school. You know, you never know what you're going to end up needing it for, but like it isn't actually the end of the world. But you should always like continue to do your best. Like I don't want you going to your parents and being like, oh, Moxie Boosted told me high school doesn't matter. And that's not what I said. Not even close to what I said. I think the audio desyncs. Let me fix that. That is not even close to what I said. High school still completely matters. Just don't stress out too much if you don't have to. I think that like the thing that I've always dealt with my number one issue in life is I am someone who worries and stresses and like is always concerned about what's going to happen next. And I think that the less that I do that while still maintaining a grasp on the importance of my future, the happier of a person I become. Because, like, does the future matter? Quite a bit. It's the only thing that matters in a lot of situations. But I have to remember that, like, there's always going to be things out of my control. And there's going to be things that seem important in the moment that really aren't. Also, I want you all to know that as much as I'm saying this to you guys, oh my god, this Garchomp's destroying this lobby. As much as I'm saying this to you guys, I'm definitely saying it to myself more than anybody. All right, nice little double there. Let's see if we can buff Cobalion. This is the most unhinged stream of all time. I am just saying... we're talking about literally anything today. Okay, I'm gonna close combat you. Can't run from that, dork. Thank you for the 38 bits. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't even get that off. All right, well, we got a second place. All right. This has been the most weirdly introspective live stream I've ever done for no reason. All I did today was just chat about like light politics and then like the importance of enjoying your day more than anything and like not worrying. But I guess that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all for hanging out, guys. Hopefully you at least, you know, learn something. Probably not about Pokemon today, but if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one.